Shalom, but to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Chodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of a great millstone that teach and that rule well today. And salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that's in the faith that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Shalom. I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar from the Great Millstone, South Carolina Maintenance Branch, coming at you with another lesson. And furthermore, before I get into my lesson, this message goes out, or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, and also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on the typical look or physical look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Shalom. So basically, I'm just going to get into a quick lesson going into the latest controversy topic amongst Israel, okay, which here at Great Millstone, okay, lately, since yesterday, okay, we was, have been getting on, starting with our apostles and elders, and the bishops and the brethren on down, and the true believers and the true worshipers involved in this ministry, defenders of the gospel, has been getting on, the IUIC, Israel United in Christ, Israelite camp, as once again they have constantly shown that, the spirit is not with them, man, when it comes to them interpreting the scriptures or breaking them down the right way, man. Okay, because recently you just had this individual, one of the heads of IUIC outside of Bishop Nathaniel, okay, did a sit-down class. Okay, as you can see, I got Revelation 21, verse 1 going into that. But basically, he did a sit-down class. And our apostles and elders, like I said, they don't touch on it. And the brothers on down. Okay, so, but, he did a sit-down lesson or class, teaching the congregation when it comes to the kingdom, okay, which we know, if you don't know by now, when it comes to the nation of Israel, salvation is only for the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, the Israelites, starting off with the elect, which were considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved, okay, when Yahweh Shai, who the world called Christ, return, okay, and take these nations out of power, in particularly, or primarily, Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, okay? And that's going to happen during the time of Yahweh Shai's second coming by the way of the chariots, what the world called UFOs, at the peak of the Third World War. And Yahweh Shai is going to come back to fight against these nations, armies, starting with Esau, Edom, okay, America, NATO, the beast system. And eventually this place, America, is going to be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear fire, okay, by the hands of Russia and other nations that got nuclear capability, okay? And Yahweh Shai is only going to deliver the elect from out of that destruction by beaming the elect up into the chariots. And through the process of time, when Yahweh Shai established the kingdom, the heathen nations that remain at that time is going to go into captivity, starting with the elites of Esau, Edom, as they're going to be in their retreats, okay, to be reserved for captivity, okay, the wicked. But you have this individual from IUIC made a statement when it comes to after the 1,000-year period, which is going to be a 1,000-year period when these nations are going to be in captivity upon us. Okay, no, matter of fact, he said that before the 1,000-year period, after the salvation, the nuclear destruction is going to destroy all nations. Okay, or he said that, no, I think he said after the 1,000-year period, all nations, after the 1,000-year period, all nations going to be done away with. Okay, which make no sense, man. Okay, because the nation is going to be set up as our servants, subject unto us. Because even during the first 1,000-year period, okay, all nations are going to be subject unto us under the rule of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And eventually, after that 1,000-year period, the only nation that's going to be done away with are the biblical Edomites. Okay, the whole nation. Obadiah 1:18 go into that. Okay, so you had this individual from IUIC say that after that 1,000-year period, all nations are going to be done away with. And when it comes to after that 1,000-year period here on the earth, the only ones that's going to remain or ruling is the Israelites. No other nation is going to remain at that time. Okay, which is stupidity. Okay, because if we're ruling, who are we going to rule over? Okay, so once again, the only nation that's going to be done away with after the 1,000-year period are the biblical Edomites. The rest of the heathen nations going to remain and be servitude unto us, man. So let me get Revelation chapter 21, verse 1 that he went into. Okay, and it says, Revelation chapter 21, verse 1, and I saw new heaven and a new earth. Okay, for the first heaven and the first earth passed away, and there was no more sea. Okay, so the new heaven and the new earth represent the rulership or the kingdom, okay, of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and us being joint heirs. Heaven represent rulership, and the new earth represent our dominance. That the kingdom is going to be placed here on the earth to rule over these other nations, man. That's why it says the first earth will pass away. Okay, going into this current rulership of Esau Edom. Okay, 2 Esdras 6:6 goes into how Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that follow. Okay, so now we're in the current position of Esau Edom ruling, but it's going to pass away once Yahweh shall return to establish the kingdom of Jacob or Israel. Okay, and that's what represent the new heaven and the new earth. Okay, matter of fact, let me get this. Well, that's on 2 Peter. Let me see on 2 Peter chapter. I'll start at 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay, going into the nuclear destruction at the peak of the Third World War. And Yahweh shall return with the hosts of angels, the chariots, what the world called UFOs, to bring fire as well, by the way of the concentrated laser beams. Okay, it says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Okay, especially this place, America, which is known as Babylon the Great. This place is going to be totally annihilated or destroyed by missiles and the chariot by the way of fire. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Okay, and that's going into this truth, understanding the truth and teaching it correctly. Okay, looking for and hasten unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay, the point, verse 13. Nevertheless, okay, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth, wherein dwell righteousness. And that's going into once Yahweh Shai deliver us of the hopeful elect, and eventually Yahweh Shai set up the kingdom of Israel here on the earth, and we're going to rule over these other nations. And that's what we're looking forward to. Okay, the new heavens and the new earth, dominance here on the earth over these other nations. So that's it on that. Let me go back to Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. And it says, and I saw a new heaven. Okay, Revelation 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. So we just read 2 Peter chapter 3, okay, verses 10 throughout. Now we read in Revelation once again, chapter 21, verse 1, going into John the Revelator, okay, giving the vision of the new heaven and the new earth. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, which represent the kingdom here on the earth, the kingdom of Israel. For the first heaven and the first earth will pass away, going to this current rulership now of Esau Edom. Okay, this is Esau Edom rulership. Okay, this is his heaven, his dominion on earth. But it's going to pass away by the way of the missiles and Yahweh Shai taking them out of power. And it says, and there was no more sea. And so when it come to the point of that individual that made the statement of IUIC that there was no more sea, okay, he say that represent after the 1,000-year period, okay, that all nations going to be done away with. And the nations the sea do represent the nations, okay, but not all nations going to be done away with. Only one nation is going to be done away with, and that's Esau Edom. So let me get some scriptures to prove that the sea going to the nations is symbolic for the nation. Okay. That's Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, Come, and say unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay, and that's going into America. Okay, America is known as that whore. Okay, Babylon the Great. And you have all nations over here on the land or the shores of America. Okay, of course, now, saying that because you got all nationalities or ethnic nationalities over here, man. Okay, but of course, because you got Israelites over here. You got these heathen nations that came from their foreign lands, okay, from their countries to come over here to sue the American dream. So you have all nations over here, okay. And on top of that, right at this moment, right now, America is dominant amongst all other superpowers, okay. But it's going into this place, America judgment, okay, that great whore. And it says, verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth had committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth had been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Yeah, going into the America dollar. Okay, all nations had took a part of American dollar. Okay, which is nothing but debt. You have these other nations that came over here, took it on upon the American philosophies. Okay, democracy. Okay, politics, the American lifestyle, okay, the American dream, to the point that now you got even all these other countries outside of America following suit, okay, when it comes to democracy, okay. So you have all nations, all, percentage, nations over here in America. So that's what it's going into. And it says they sit upon, they said a great whore, verse 1, that sit upon many waters, okay, going into the nations. Matter of fact, let's jump down to verse 15. And it says, and he said unto me, I'll start off at 14. And it says, and these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. And going into NATO, America, okay, the military force at the top, the peak of the Third World War, when Yahweh shall return with the hosts of angels to fight against them and take them out of power. And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings. And they that are with him are called, chosen, and faithful, going into the redemption of the elect, salvation of the elect. Okay, being beamed up at that time as well. Okay, when Yahweh shall come back to wage war against these nations' armies, but mainly Esau Edom, when it comes to the beast system. Okay, NATO, the EU, and America being part of that. And America is mainly they stronghold when it comes to these elites of Esau Edom out of Europe. Continuing on, verse 15, the point. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So you have all races or race over here in America. Okay, when it comes to the Israelites and when it comes to these heathens. Okay, and this place is set for judgment, and the only ones that's going to be delivered is the elect of Negro, Latino, Native American descent, so-called. Okay, Israelites, the 144,000 and the 1/3 here in America, and as well you have the elect scattered amongst all nations. Okay, but mainly this is the main deliverance, because this place is going to be totally annihilated by the missiles. Okay, but the elect that's scattered amongst the other nations, they're going to be beamed up too for salvation. But this is where the main deliverance is going to take place, because this is where the main judgment is going to go down at. And let me get another scripture to prove that the sea or the waters represent people, okay, symbolically. Well, that's on Isaiah chapter 17, on verse, I'm going to go to verse 12. And it says, woe to the multitudes of many people which make a noise like a noise of the seas, and to the rushing of the nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. So this comparing to, the rushing of the waters compared to the nations. Okay. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but Yahweh Bashim Yahushua shall rebuke them. And he's going to do that when Yahweh shall return to take Esau, Edom out of power, and the rest of these heathen nations, okay, that remain after the destruction. They're going to go into captivity for 1,000 years. Okay, starting with the Edomites. And after that 1,000-year period is up, like I say, Obadiah 1 and 18, the only nation that's going to be done away with are the biblical Edomites. Not all nations. Okay? They're going to still be tributary to us, man. Servants unto us. But Yahweh Bashim shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. Yeah, the Lord gonna bring that destruction upon them. Okay, starting with the Edomites. So that's it on that. Because the scripture says ain't no end of all the people, man. So even after the 1,000-year period in the kingdom, as if gonna be fully established, and our kingdom is gonna be an everlasting kingdom, and we're gonna rule forever. But you're gonna have these other nations still there to be subject unto us, and they're gonna have to follow our ways when it comes to the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, they ain't gonna be doing their own thing. They ain't gonna be worshiping their false gods, their idols. Okay, doing their heathenistic customs, and they still gonna be subject, to the mortal flesh. So therefore, we're gonna judge them by the law. Okay, if they don't follow it. But us, the Israelites, starting with the elect, and eventually as the whole of Israel, we're gonna be righteous forevermore. Because that's where we're gonna be fully in the new covenant. Because the new covenant going to take place once Yahweh shall redeem the elect. And the new covenant represent the law, statutes, commandments in our inward parts. Okay? Us are the hopeful elect, our bodies being changed. Okay? When it comes to the deliverance, we're going to go from mortal to immortality. Okay? 1 Corinthians chapter 15 goes into that. Okay? The new bodies from being mortal to immortality. And that starts with the new covenant, the law, statutes, commandments in the inward part, when Yahweh shall redeem the elect. Okay? And when we come back on the earth, as it says in Revelation chapter 21, verse 1, the new heavens and the new earth, okay, we're going to be immortal. Okay? We're going to be extraterrestrials. Okay? Superhumans, to say to speak. Okay? Princes of the powers, as we were always ordained to be. Okay? And we're going to rule over these heathen nations. But the other nations, the heathens, they're not going to have that ability. Okay? They're going to be mortal. And they're going to have to follow our ways during the 1,000-year period, even after. So now, let me get on. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus, or Ecclesiastes, chapter 4. Verse 16, and it says, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. Okay, and this also goes into reincarnation. Reincarnation means back. Carnation or carnality mean flesh, back in the flesh. And what comes back in the flesh when an individual die is their spirit being born again on the earth. Okay, in a lot. Okay, because there ain't no such thing as hell when when a person die and they live wickedness out throughout their whole life, and they go to hell for not accepting Christ as their savior. Okay, no, we don't live out multiple lives, man. When it comes to the Israelites and when it comes to these heathens, okay, everything is reincarnated. There's no such thing as you only live once and that's it. Okay, when you die, you go to the spiritual realm. The individual receive a judgment and they come back on the earth, being born through man and women to live out their judgment or their next life. Okay? And it says, there is no end of all the people, even all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of spirit. So the point I want to get is that there's no end of all the people. So even after that 1,000-year period, okay, there ain't going to be no end of all nations. Like I say, the only nation that's going to be done away with is the Edomites. Obadiah 1:18. Okay? Matter of fact, let me get that. This is Obadiah chapter 1:18. Okay, so this is after the 1,000-year period when Esau, Edom served their captivity and build up our kingdom, man, and be servitude unto us, and they be judged. And it says, Obadiah 1:18, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, has spoken it. Okay, so that's going for the judgment of Esau, Edom after the 1,000-year period. Okay, so that's it on that. And say all nations going to be destroyed. Okay, it said only Edom after that 1,000-year period. So once again, Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 16. There is no end of all the people, even all that have been before them. Okay, that also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also a vanity and vexation of spirit. So once again, man, the Lord always going to have all the nations here on the earth, even after the 1,000-year period. Okay, when the kingdom take place, this happening that we're going to be the chosen, the rule on the earth forever, the Israelites, and these other nations are going to be subject unto us, man, as they're supposed to be, as they are our enemies, the heathens, our adversaries, man. Okay, but Esau, Edom, the wicked, is going to be done away with. Let me get on. Matter of fact, let me get this. Because look, just as now we on the bottom now, we in captivity, we under the curses, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 15 through 68. Hey, these other nations, they're ruling over us now, man. Okay, so how much more when the kingdom is established? Okay, and we're back on top, and the Lord redeem us. Let me get on. What's this? Jeremiah 30 and 16. Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. Okay, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, said the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, who no man seek after. Okay, so this is going into the kingdom. Once Yahweh shall establish the kingdom. Okay, after the salvation of the elect, they're going to, these heathen nations that remain, starting with the elites of Esau, Edom, that escaped the missiles, they're going to be reserved to go into captivity. okay, for that 1,000-year period. And throughout that process of time, after that 1,000-year period, like I say, the only nation that's going to be done away with are the Edomites. But the rest of the nations are going to remain to be servitudes or servants unto us, man. Okay? Because our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom. It ain't going to be no equality. Okay? They're going to have to learn from us. Okay? From the time of the kingdom being established and even forevermore. Even after when Esau, Edom, the Edomites are done away with. And I'll end off with this. With Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. And it says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, Israel, okay? And it said, and this is going into the kingdom, okay? And this shall come to pass in the last days, okay, the kingdom, once Yahweh shall establish the kingdom, that the mountain of the Lord's house, Yahweh Shemashah's house, okay, Israel, the kingdom, shall be established in the top of the mountains, and the mountains representing, you know, the other nations, over the other nations, okay, the governments. Mountains represent governments, okay, and we're gonna be the top government over all nations, man. Okay, the nations that, you know, that's gonna be there, gonna have to be servitude unto us, or subjection unto us, servitude or subjection to us. And it's saying, and establish the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills. Okay, so we're gonna be over all nations. That's the point. And all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh Shemashah from Jerusalem. Okay, so this is going into the kingdom. And it says, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Yeah, going into how ain't going to be no more war as it's going to continue on. Okay, because it's going to be the time of these nations building up the kingdom. Okay, when it comes to our land. Okay, and all throughout the world, man. Because we're going to dominate. We're going to dominate the whole world. Okay, not just in Israel, okay, which is the headquarters of Jerusalem, but the whole world, okay? We're going to have rulership of, and wherever we reside to be at, there where the heathens going to be to build our kingdom, or build a portion of our kingdoms outside of Israel, okay? That's why I said they're going to turn their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, okay? Going back into agriculture, man. It says, nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Okay? So these nations are going to follow us, man, as we're going to have the authority over these heathens. And that's going to start when Yahweh shall return to establish the kingdom. In that first 1,000-year period, including Esau, Edom, and these heathens. And after the 1,000-year period, Esau, Edom is going to be done away with. And the only nation that's going to remain in that time are the rest of the nation to be servitude unto us. Let me see Revelation, go back to 21. Let me see. This is Revelation chapter 21, verse so this is going into the kingdom. Verse 24. The nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring down glory and honor unto it. Yeah, so going into these nations is going to be servitude unto us, man. Okay? So they ain't going to be done away with. Not all nations. Only Esau, Edom. What's this? I'll get this real quick. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and this going in the process of the time that we're approaching now, as we're about to come to the time of the end of Esau Edom kingdom, as they want to force the NWO. And we know that in the midst of that, you're going to have martyrs of the elect that's going to die for the faith, but be resurrected. Okay, once Yahweh shall return to gather the rest of the elect, those that don't take the MOTB, okay, that's going to be beheaded, as it says, as I'm going to read. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and the word of Yahweh, which had not worshipped the beast, okay, Esau Edom system, the NWO, neither his image, okay, the makeup, okay, of their system, okay, their laws, okay, the legislations that they're going to enforce, neither had received his mark, the mark ultimately going into the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast, which is going to be the next digital currency that replaced the physical dollar, not only here in America, but worldwide. And those of our people that take it, they're going to be destroyed by the missiles and the chariots by the way of fire, according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And that's the 2/3, man. Okay? And the 2/3 of our people that perish on this side, they're going to come back in the kingdom, being the sons and daughters of the elect. Okay? So for right now, it's all about the elect. And you're going to have martyrs of the elect, but they're going to be the first ones risen up once Yahweh shall return to gather the rest of the elect that remain at that time by the way of salvation. And it says, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they live and reign with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. So this is going into the kingdom, man. Okay, the elect reigning with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. And through that process of time, the 2/3, they're going to come back in the kingdom, being the sons and daughters of the elect. Okay, so after the end of that 1,000-year period, okay, Israel as a whole, going to be more generations. Okay, but it starts with the elect, with that first 1,000 year or the 1,000-year reign with Yahweh Shai. Because when there ever was in history, okay, that you had the elect or the disciples reign with Yahweh Shai for 1,000 years. So this is going to future prophecy when the kingdom come, okay, or take place, that 1,000-year period. So that's why we say that the first 1,000 years of the kingdom, these heathen nations are going to be servitude unto us, subject unto us, and Esau Edom going to be done away with. Okay, Obadiah 1:18, as I read earlier. And it says, and they live and reign with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. Verse 5, so after that 1,000-year period, verse 5, but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were fulfilled. And the rest of the dead represent the heathen nations. Okay, till that 1,000 year be fulfilled. Like I said, the only nation that's going to be done away with after that 1,000 year be fulfilled are the Edomites. But the rest of the nations, they're going to still be servitude unto us. Okay, they're going to get, portion or their part, okay, to be in order when it comes to us ruling over them. Okay, and they're going to have to follow our ways. And it says, but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Okay, and the first resurrection going into the salvation of the elect, being delivered from the missiles, okay, and being, joint heir with Yahweh Shai. Okay, the first resurrection goes into the first fruits, okay, or the elect being delivered, okay. And so that's why, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai, and through the men that the Lord set up, it's a blessing to have this understanding, and we grow more and more into this faith and understanding of the truth. And it's only given to us by the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Because many people are trying to read the scriptures and they get, they stumble, because the scriptures can be a stumbling block, but it's only for the elect. And that's the number that we strive to be, that we're part of, the hopeful elect. Okay, because the elect is going to get the full understanding. And one thing about, the scriptures, it can be, speaking in dark code or parables, okay, symbolically, okay, which a lot of people trip upon, but only the elect is going to receive it. Okay, especially like the book of Revelation. Because the book of Revelation, jump from timeline to the next timeline. Okay. And it's very, symbolic. Okay, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, it's going to give the elect the understanding, they're able to interpret it the right way, man. And we believe that we all those men stumped with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and the brethren on down, and those that's of the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And I say that with all humility, man. Okay, because more and more it shows that as we're approaching the time of Jacob's trouble and all hell about to break loose, it shows more and more out of all the Israelite camps who the Lord is definitely dealing with through the spirit, man. Okay, as a lot of these other camps, such as IUIC, is waxing worse and worse, man. Because like I say, this is the latest, the latest thing they're saying now when it comes to the other nations after the 1,000-year period, okay, of the kingdom. All nations going to be done away with. Okay, that the latest damnable heresy. But it teach many. Okay, the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast. Okay, there's hell now. They pushing the hell doctrine. Okay, once they push, there's no such thing as Jacob's trouble. All type of madness. Okay, and they ain't the only one when it comes to amongst these Israelite camps or organization. And here at Great Millstone, we know to get on all these camps when they go off. Okay, even if when we go off ourselves, we get on ourselves, man. Okay, with certain individuals amongst Great Millstone. Okay, but when it comes to these other camps, they're just like this waxing worse and worse, man. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here, and I pray that the lesson be edifying. Lord willing, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.